Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain For You. Today's topic is going to be based on a question I've seen a couple of times in the past day or two. It's kind of delayed reaction pain. Pain after an activity but not during it. So, I'm going to take a couple of nice breaths. Breathe in the peace. Exhale the noise. Breathe in the confidence. Exhale the fear. All right. So I hear from a lot of people that say, you know what, I was doing this today. I felt perfectly fine doing it. But after I was done, or maybe even sometimes the next day, that's when the pain hit. And I think the general thought is, boy, I must have overdone it. I must have hurt myself while I was doing this activity, whether it be walking, jogging, some people were playing tennis, some guy was playing golf, or whatever it may be. And I guess my perspective is this. If you injured yourself doing the activity, it would hurt immediately. When was the last time you smacked yourself with a hammer and it hurt a day later but not at the time? Injuries hurt at the time of the injury. So I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's what's going on. And I think that's different than post-workout soreness. Like if you go lifting weights and you really work your biceps a lot, the next day, if you've pushed yourself with the bicep workout, your biceps are going to hurt. But a day or two later, they're pretty much better. That's different than TMS. That's truly exertion soreness. But I think in most people's experience, doing an activity and hurting later is generally, well, it's definitely not an injury, and I don't think, even in that case, that it's post-workout soreness. It's not inflammation. It's not, muscle injuries or anything like that. Because I think if you're playing sports and you pull a muscle on the field, it's going to hurt immediately. That's when you see the football player getting, carried off the field or limping off the field with a hamstring injury or something like that. So what the heck's going on? We got to go backwards. Pain is designed as a warning signal to stop us from doing anything that the brain perceives as dangerous. Now, during the activity, you may have been engaged in life and not really thinking about your pain and actually having some fun, and the brain goes, they're okay, look at them, they're having some fun. And then afterwards, when we have time to think about it, and we go, wow, that was great, I did all that stuff, it is possible, and I'm not saying this to say it's your fault by thinking about it, and it's your fault that the pain came on later, but the brain kind of settles in and goes, wow, you did all that stuff, and it didn't hurt. How come you're not hurting now? And I think in some way we can bring on the pain. The brain's perception is, holy crap, you did all that. Don't you remember? You've had pain for years. What are you trying to do there? And I believe if the pain is here to stop us or protect us from doing things it perceives as dangerous, it can literally show up after the activity or even the next day as a way of going, hey, time out. Don't do that again. Don't you remember? You've had pain for a long time. What are you, crazy? What are you trying to do? Get back into activity. So I think it's a delayed reaction, TMS. If it were a true injury, it would hurt in the moment. If you twist your ankle, you're going to feel it immediately. If you fall out of a tree and break your arm, you're going to feel it immediately. So a delayed reaction, in my opinion, is just more sign that it's TMS. May have something to do with your thought process, but again, I don't like saying that because I don't want you to think I'm blaming you for the way you're thinking and that you thought about your pain so it came back, and so never do that again. Right? So what do we do in this case? Well, we certainly don't want to get into the thought process the next day that goes, oh my God, I overdid it. I worked too hard outside, or I exercised too much, or I shouldn't have played tennis, or I shouldn't have gone golfing. I shouldn't have. Oh my God, I better not do that. Well, that's playing into the fear. And you're basically saying, you're right, brain. Those things were dangerous. And then what happens the next time you try to do this thing? Your brain remembers the way you reacted to a little bit of discomfort the next day. And it goes, yeah, you're right. You did it again. The next time afterwards, it's hurting again. Your brain goes, hey, don't you remember last time? I gave you a little bit of pain to warn you against doing something that I thought was dangerous. And you confirmed it for me based on your reaction to the pain. So look, injuries hurt immediately. Pain that happens later is just TMS showing up as a way to go, hey, take it easy. So what's the best way to respond to that? I know what's going on. I had a blast today doing what I was doing. I didn't push it too hard. I'm capable of doing these things because I know deeply that it's just TMS. And I know that my body is fine. And I know that I'm okay and I can do these things safely. And so if you can respond to pain coming on later with a cool, calm, reassuring, breathe, settle your body down, show your brain that, hey, I don't care if the pain shows up later because I know I'm okay. And if we can react or respond in a cool, calm, collected way, you're showing the brain that you, in fact, did not hurt yourself. But if you allow the pain afterwards to scare you and freak you out, and you panic and go, oh my God, I can't believe I did it again. I overdid it. What's the lesson that you're teaching the brain? Exercise is dangerous and that you overdid it, and that's why you're hurting. Which is all what? It's a belief that your body's at fault. That's not true. Did a video a while back called Exercise and Pain. And if you're considering getting back into any type of exercise or movement, go look for that one. Somebody remind me and I will put it in the comments below or in the description of the video. But it's an important video because it'll help you gauge how quickly you could or should resume physical activity. And primarily, fear is what's going to guide how quickly you move forward with that. So, does anybody here have pain after an activity but not during? And does this make sense that it's really just the brain trying to say, hey, what are you doing that for? Stop it. That was dangerous. You're pushing it too hard. And we have a choice as to how we respond to that warning signal called pain. We can either confirm, yep, it was dangerous. Oh my God, I pushed it too hard. I know I shouldn't have played that second game of tennis. I shouldn't have played golf. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. In which case, we're teaching the brain that we're frail and easily broken and movement is dangerous, in which case you're probably going to get more of the same. Or if you respond nice and calm and reassure yourself, hey, I had a blast. I'm glad I did this activity. It felt fantastic when I did it. And the fact that the pain came up afterwards, I'm not worried by it. It's no big deal. And you calmly reassure yourself that you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't damage yourself. You didn't, quote unquote, hurt yourself. You definitely didn't overdo it. And the cooler and more calm that you can respond, you're teaching the brain the right thing, which is that this activity feels fantastic. And even if there's a little bit of, pain the next day or later in the evening, not a big deal. I used to work with a lady who had crippling knee pain all day long, but if she got on her road bicycle, the kind with the curved handlebars, and would go riding, she could go ride for hours, many, many miles. She could do 80 miles, 26 miles uphill. She would feel great with no pain. Then she would come back, and the pain was waiting for her. So I think there's also two areas here. The perception that you may have overdone it. The whole, everything that I've just been talking about here. But I also think, in many cases, when we're out doing something that we're engaged in and having fun with, we're engaged in life and we're not thinking about our pain. And so when we're engaged in life, the pain kind of lets us be. Like, you're okay. Look, they're having fun. They must be okay, because look at them. But then once we get back home, we sit on the couch, or the next day, we move back into our thinking head, starting to wonder, where's that pain? And guess what? Brain's going to go, here you go. Here's your pain. I've got that for you, as requested. So the message here is not, you can't ever think about your pain. It's not helpful to do that, but it's going to happen. It's impossible to never think about it. It's impossible to never wonder, like, I'm feeling pretty good. Wonder why that is. It's only human nature to do that. Notice it, smile, and go, I'm doing the right thing. And if the pain shows up, you can be like, No, you don't. I'm good. Remember how much fun I was just having? I was just walking, running, playing tennis, playing golf, even just moving around the house freely. Don't punish me for that, because none of that stuff was dangerous. I did not injure myself. Reassure yourself of that. Teach your brain the right thing, that all of these activities are safe. And don't panic, because when you panic, you're just confirming the reason for that danger or warning signal called pain. And look, it's funny. The solution never changes. We always want to respond to our symptoms or pains as calmly, as reassuringly as possible, because freaking out never helped anybody. So if you do have some fun and you go out and you engage in the world, you do something, and then you come back and you start thinking, wow, that was good, I didn't hurt, and then whammo, here it comes. Don't punish yourself. Don't question yourself. Don't teach your brain that you were stupid by doing too much. You didn't overdo it. It's just TMS to zigzag. And the solution never changes. Always respond to pain with a reassuring, it's just TMS, don't worry about it. I'm okay. And then shift your attention away from it again. Because inevitably, people will feel pretty good while they're out doing something, engaging in life. And then when the pain hits them later, there's this feeling of, oh no, what did I do? I overdid it. It's not true. So, I don't know if I answered some people's questions here, but it's extremely common to have some fun engaging in the world, and then later the pain comes back. Don't overthink it. One of the most predictable things about TMS is its unpredictability. It doesn't seem to make logical or rational sense that you can, feel perfectly fine while going on a hike and then hurt later, right? If it's muscle soreness, you're going to know that. That feels differently. And if you're not sure what that is, do a whole bunch of arm curls with a barbell and see how your arm feels the next day. And remember what that feels like. Because invariably, the pain that I've been talking about, that you've been telling me about, that hits you that later that day, that night, or the next day, that's not the same as that muscle soreness from working out too much. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Comment below. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Monday. And we'll see you tomorrow.